pitch. Swung on and missed a perfect game.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter.
Thank you, Kershaw. This is a no-hitter.
It is gone! It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner! It's over! Muncy, a walk-off home run! This is way back! Walk 'em off! Chris Taylor!
Give me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back.
Another payoff. Fenny got him with a slider. Ohtani! It's Teoscar Hernandez. Mookie mashed. It's a grand slam. He's showstopper and game ender.
What is up, Dodgers Nation? Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Thanks for joining us as the Dodgers get the win. They beat the Philadelphia Phillies by a final score of 5-3. A special night at the Ravine. Freddie Freeman makes his return. Of course, his son Max Smith is really on the road to recovery, and it was really just a touching moment before the game with Freddie Freeman, and he makes his first at-bat, and just the whole entire crowd is out there just giving him the entire ovation. They're chanting Freddie. He tips his cap. Of course, he accepts in that box. He said after the game it was tough to have an at-bat, and he ends up striking out. But really a great moment there with Freddie Freeman. That's kind of the big takeaway. You had all the Dodgers wearing shirts, Max strong, and I thought it was really cool. He had an emotional 30-minute press conference before the game, and Freddie Freeman's by far one of the nicest professional athletes in the world. And to listen to what he went through and just how scary it was for him and his family, just to see him back on the field, and what he said before the game was the fact that he's playing lets you know that things are trending in the right direction for Max. And yeah, definitely that was the number one biggest takeaway, is that Freddie Freeman back on the field, just all the love that Dodgers fans gave him, and you could see how important that was for him. And it just feels like Freddie really just is one of ours, right? I mean, that's just kind of how it feels. I mean, he first came over here, he was with the Braves. You had the return to Atlanta, and he was emotional about it, understandably so. You had some Dodgers fans having bold opinions about that, but Freddie Freeman is a Dodger, man. Dodger blue through and through, and it didn't take him long to get back on the schneid. He ends up getting a base hit later in the game. So, yeah, big night for the Dodgers, though. They get the win 67-47. Now just get half game behind the Philadelphia Phillies in the National League. So just think about this. The Dodgers have gone 32-30 in their last 62 games, just 2 games over 500, yet they are a half game behind. This time tomorrow, the Dodgers could have the best record in the National League. When you consider the fact they've been out with an MVP in Mookie Betts, when you consider the pitching injuries, the bullpen issues, the fact that we're this deep into the season, already in August, and the National League is there for the taking, you will take that. Rosemary Rodriguez points out, crazy how no team is on pace for 100 wins this season. That's really what this team does. They win 100 games. Won 104 games in 2017. A couple years later, they set a franchise record with 106 wins. In the 43-win 2020 season, they were on pace to win 116 games. And you see what they matched in 2021 with 116 wins. And they set an all-time franchise record with 111 wins in 2022. And then last year, you still won 100 games in what was supposed to be a rebuilding year, and there's no team that's on pace for 100 wins. But lots to get into here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that like button for your Los Angeles Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani, he proved once again why he is the best player on the planet. Goes 2 for 3, adds another stolen base, had a home run. Teoscar Hernandez, he went deep tonight, helped the Dodgers get back in this one there when they were trailing 2-0. Teoscar Hernandez, he steps up in a big way. He's able to get a 2-run shot to give the Dodgers a 2-run lead there in the 3rd inning. But really the number one biggest takeaway for me tonight, the number one takeaway was Tyler Glasnow is going to be that horse for this team in the postseason. And yes, he did have some bad luck early on. We'll talk about Andy Pages here in a second. But Tyler Glasnow put together his second quality start, and he's back. He is pitching like he was early on the season. And Tyler Glasnow gets the win, improves to 9-6. He went 6 innings tonight, gave up 3 runs on 5 hits, had 9 strikeouts through 91 pitches, and he struck out 9 of the first 13 batters he's faced. And that is the dominance that the Dodgers were looking for when they made that move. When they traded Ryan Pepiot and Johnny DeLuca to the Tampa Bay Rays and extended Tyler Glasnow before he had ever pitched for this organization, this is the kind of pitcher they were hoping they would get. A guy that can dominate lineups that have the Bryce Harpers, that have the Kyle Schwarbers, that have the Trey Turners, and that was on display tonight. Thought he was fantastic, generated 17 swings and misses. He was 14 for 23 on first pitch strikes, to improve on that a little bit, but still the curveball was nasty, the slider was nasty, the fastball location. I thought that Tyler Glasnow tonight really made me feel a lot better about this team in the postseason, in the fact that this could be an NLCS matchup, and to see the kind of success he had against this team, yet I feel really good about that. But we got hashtag MaxPower from Oscar, Craig Osterberg, Go Tawny. By the way, if you haven't yet, be sure to comment Go Tawny down below so you're eligible for our next giveaway at 95,000 subscribers. We're giving away a Road Gray Shohei Ohtani authentic Dodgers jersey. All you have to do to be eligible is be sure to comment Go Tawny down below, and you're eligible to win. Mr. Seabad, both pitchers tonight look good, not great, very strange. I think that the flashes of Glasnow, I mean, if were really what stood out, though. I mean, we could start breaking this thing down right away, and what happened there in the second inning. So top of the first inning, he strikes out Schwarber's swing on a 4-seam fastball, dotted on the inside corner for the first out, punched out Trey Turner with a nasty 4-seam fastball. He gets him to chase out a heater away, and then he struck out Bryce Harper after falling behind the count 2-0. Then on the full count, the 6th pitch of the at-bat, he gets him to chase a slider down the zone. So he imposed that will. He set the tone early on and said, you guys are coming here to L.A. to try to get back on track against us when we're trying to make a run and take that lead in the National League. So Glasnow absolutely set the tone early on by striking out the side. And then the top of the second inning, after a Bohm ground to second for the first out, he struck out Marsh looking with a slider up in the zone. And then Nick Castellanos, with 1 out, 1-1 count, he hits a fly ball to center field. And Andy Pages is drifting back. He's drifting back. He's pretty much in no man's land at this point. And then he tries to make a play on the fly ball. It goes right over his gloves and it falls. And then Nick Castellanos makes his way all the way to third base for a triple. The catch probability here was 95%. So it wasn't ruled an error, but you know it was an error. I know it was an error. Tyler Glasnow knew it was an error. Andy Pages knew it was an error. Andy Pages is not a center fielder. He's a corner outfielder that has a fantastic arm. He did perform at the plate. He did produce. He did contribute to this win, but that really is kind of the last straw as far as they were not going to go with Andy Pages as their center fielder in the postseason. But tonight, the sirens are going off, okay? And really, you look at the ill effects of this. 1, the Phillies score runs. They win this game, right, potentially. 2, you force a pitcher in Tyler Glasnow, who you're trying to save and preserve for the postseason to allow him to be as efficient as possible, to throw more pitches, to go deeper into an inning. You look at how the inning turned out. The very next batter, Stott, he reached on an infield single to Glasnow. Glasnow tried to make a play on it to get out of the inning, but was unable to make that play. Castellanos scored, and that gave the Phillies the first run of the evening. And then Hayes, he singled to left. Stott gets to third, so that sets the Phillies up with runners on the corners. And then Stott, he scored on a wild pitch by Glasnow to play another run for the Phillies, and all of a sudden it's a 2-0 lead early on. 2 runs on 3 hits there in the second inning. He was able to strike out Stubbs to get out of that one. But you can't afford misplays like that from Andy Pages. I think Andy Pages is a fine young player. I think that they're very high on him internally, and they want to be able to hit on these farmhands to be able to sustain winning here. You can't sign every single player to a $300+ million contract. You need to scout, develop, and use some of these farmhands. And Andy Pages is someone who's certainly going to factor into this outfield mix in the future, but I think he's heading for option territory when everyone gets healthy, and this roster crunch really starts to put a lot of pressure on this organization to see who are the guys that they're going to go with come postseason. But let me get your thoughts on Andy Pages, a blunder tonight that thankfully didn't cost the Dodgers the game. And look, this is a rookie mistake. I mean, you learn. And look, this is nothing against Andy Pages, right? He's done everything that's been asked of him. They've made him an everyday outfielder, but that's not the role that he's best optimized for, that he's built for at this stage of his career. He is a corner outfielder right now. Give him all the credit in the world. He's has the effort there. He puts in the work. I see him before games for hours and hours putting in the work in center field, and he definitely isn't the worst by any means or any stretch. And look, he's made a lot of great plays throughout this season, but I think it's evident at this point, it's been for a while, that he's not going to be the center fielder in the future. I think it's going to be Tommy Edman as soon as he gets healthy. But I want all your thoughts on Andy Pages and just that blunder tonight. Go Ohtani, we got Cobra Commander. We can't have Pages goofing off in the outfield, especially in the postseason. Bonda playing that sweet chin music. Yeah, I have some thoughts on Anthony Bonda here in a second here for sure. We got Gio, we got Armando update. It's back up. Ohtani is on my fantasy team. Well, you're eating good, Eddie. I hope you win your league. That was a great pick. Even as a DH, I mean, he's out there winning the MVP. NorCal Eddie, seems people are stepping up, knowing the roster crunch is coming. The best is yet to come. Fire take from NorCal Eddie over there. Totally agree that these players know what's at stake. Joe Davis pointed out during the broadcast that you look at Gavin Lux, who extended his hitting streak to 10 games. He's hitting over 400 in his last 14 games. Gavin Lux goes 2 for 3 tonight. He contributed to the win in a big way, like he has been for the last couple of weeks. He was going to get optioned. I'll tell you that straight up, because if he was going to perform at the level he was before he turned it around, it just didn't make sense to have a guy holding down that second base position if you weren't going to get offensive production out of him, especially when you have a couple of viable options that can play shortstop in Miguel Rojas at the time, and even other options too, like Kike Hernandez, Chris Taylor. I mean, whoever you want to throw out there, but Rojas was going to be the guy, and you put Mookie Betts back at second base. Well, guess what? Gavin Lux has absolutely thrown a wrench into that, and that's a great thing because Gavin Lux has continued to produce. I could not be happier for the guy, and he's absolutely not someone who is even going to be considered to be sent down at this point because of the way he's been consistently performing. And after the year he's had, where he was at one point statistically one of the least productive hitters in baseball, is almost at league average. He's at 91 weighted runs created plus, just 9% below league average after hitting 2 hits tonight. And I think for me, that is what really sticks out, is you're getting some slug. Tonight, hits a double, gets a single, and you look at just the overall numbers, hitting 245, 305 on base, a 363 slug. You got to feel really, really happy for a guy that has absolutely turned his season around in such a massive way. He's not going to be a part of that roster crunch because he's not in it. D-Mac, glad the bullpen held the lead. The bullpen has been a concern. Alex Renteria, absolutely, the bullpen, they performed a lot better tonight. You got to give them a lot of credit. So mentioned Anthony Bonda. And you look at the performance of the bullpen as a whole tonight. Glasnow, he gives you the quality start. That was a major, major boost to this team that got a quality start from Jack Flaherty a couple days ago. Like I said, Glasnow struck out 9 of the first 15 batters he faced in this one. And every time the ball was hit and it was put in play, it felt like something unlucky was going to happen, whether it be the Nick Castellanos triple that should have been caught by Andy Pages or the play by Stott. I mean, when the ball was put in play, it was definitely a little bit of a concern for this Dodgers team. But the good thing is when you miss bats and you dominate hitters like he does, he makes it really easy. But, yeah, I mean, you look at after that inning, Glasnow, he just gave one more run, and that was do that double he gave to Bryce Harper. You had the infield shifted there, and Bryce Harper's able to get that double. But the Phillies, I mean, not much doing after that. Not much doing after that. And, I mean, Bohm ended up grounding out to second there to score Schwarber. Harper gets to third, but then he bounces back to get Marsh to fly to left. And that was it. There was the last inning for Glasnow. He ended up going 6 in this one. But the other big story, as you point out, the Dodgers bullpen. I mean, they were fantastic. I mean, Michael Kopech continues to put up zeros. He did give up a single to Hayes, but outside of that, I thought he was great once again. You're seeing, like I said, when they traded for him, they would cut down to use that four-seam fastball, bounce it out a little bit, and you're seeing that once again. A little more cutter, a little more slider. He did get stubs, struck him out looking nasty, 97 on the corner. That was a little chef's kiss pitch right there, and you got to give him credit for absorbing this Dodgers coaching right away and really just looking excellent and factoring into this bullpen. And you got Brusdar back, you got Kopech in the mix, the bullpen's looking up. But really, where the game came down to was the top of the 8th inning. Top of the 8th inning for the Dodgers, Anthony Banda into pitch. And Banda, he's been a godsend for this bullpen. They find him, he finds a home in L.A., and everyone thought it would be it for a couple of games. Now I think the conversation has to be, who do you replace Anthony Banda with? He should permanently be in this bullpen if he's going to go and perform the way he is and have the success he's having. And he's been one of the Dodgers' best high-leverage relievers this season. Heading into this appearance, had a 2.16 ERA in 31 games. And the first batter he faces, he's going up against Kyle Schwarber. He gets ahead in the count 0-2, and then throws 4 straight balls, issues the leadoff walk. So you had the lefty-lefty matchup set up in the hopes of neutralizing that, but you walk Schwarber with the first batter. 4 consecutive balls there. And then he gets Trey Turner to fly to center field. And then he struck out Bryce Harper with a 97-mile-per-hour sinker for the second out. Very, very well-executed pitch. And that at-bat gets him to get to the outer quadrant, gets the swing and miss. But then he allows a first-pitch single to Bohm. And that sets the Phillies up, runners on first and second, and then he bounces back and gets Marsh to swing and miss at a nasty slider away. So really the Dodgers' dog of the game out of the bullpen has to be Anthony Banda. Anthony Banda was great tonight. He definitely bounced back. I mean, I think that's what you want to see from relievers. I mean, it's great to get scoreless innings. It's great to just strike out the side, but I think when you're testing guys, it's good to test their mettle against high-level competition against the top of the order, and that's what we saw. So you walk Schwarber. You never want to walk the leadoff hitter. That's a death knell. You don't want that. You can't have that. But the way he bounced back definitely showed me something tonight. We got Pages as a natural right fielder. When Edmund is healthy, platoon him with Hayward, classic Capes. That's what classic Caps. That's what we've been talking about on this show is you have to bump Pages to the corners. And Teo, of course, is your starting left fielder. But Teo can also play right. And then Hayward, who actually had a double tonight, that's got to be a little bit of a fourth outfield mix, potentially, depending on what they do with Mookie Betts. I think it feels like Mookie Betts is going to move to shortstop. And then you have a Mookie Betts, Gavin Lux, Keystone combination. Not a ton of experience there. So kind of wait-and-see mode. But, look, at this point, for me, Andy Pages, look, got to give him credit, though. Everyone's down on Pages, But Kiermaier probably makes that catch, right? 10 out of 10 times. Having said that, though, bottom of the third inning, Jason Hayward, he starts the inning off. The Dodgers trailing 2-0 at that point, and he doubles to right, and Andy Pages follows it up with one of his best at-bats in a while. I mean, he hadn't gotten a base hit off a breaking ball in quite some time, and he works the count early, gets ahead of the counts 3-1. Then he takes a strike looking for the second strike of the at-bat, fouls off a couple pitches, and on the eighth pitch of the at-bat, he hooks a knuckle curve into left for a double that scored Jason Hayward to give the Dodgers their first run of the night. And then Nick Ahmed reached on an infield single to second. Pages, good base running, gets to third. And Shohei Ohtani gets right under one. Looked like it was going to be a moonshot, but just underneath it. Hits it 390 feet. That scored Andy Pages to tie things up at 2, so Ohtani gets credit for the sacrifice fly. And then Teoscar Hernandez, first pitch, knuckle curve, Nola leaves it up, and Teoscar Hernandez, he crushes one to left. That put the Dodgers up 4-2. So, yeah, pretty incredible inning there for the Dodgers offense to just kind of bounce back off a pitcher in Nola. They really had his way with the Dodgers offense back in Philly, and 24 home runs already for Teoscar Hernandez on the season. So give him credit. Give Andy Pages credit. Definitely made the blunder, but definitely was able to bounce back and find a way to contribute to this win offensively. Hi, D-Mac. Hi, Diane Schroeder. How you doing? What's up, Craig Osterberg? Richard Cervantes over on Facebook. Mr. Classic. Kershaw needs more time. Shouldn't pitch tomorrow. We'll see. I mean, we'll have that conversation tomorrow. I'll be there. I'll chime in with some questions to ask Clayton Kershaw to see maybe if he has a bad start, did he come back too fast? I mean, I think when you have the experience that he has and the way he knows his stuff and how his stuff is feeling coming out of the hand, the way it's bouncing back, I mean, the velocity's been true. The breaking stuff in the first game, the slide and the curveball were really effective for him. So let's see how he fares tomorrow. It's a massive test tomorrow for Clayton Kershaw, though. You bring up a great point. Absolutely. What's good, D-Mac? Hope all is well. What's up, Luis Correa? Sorry about that. Correa. That's I had that name blacked out from my head. Teo was clutch on that laser home run. Yeah, that's what Teo does. That truly is. And that's what he's going to do for this team for the foreseeable future, and I hope it's past this season because they need to extend Teoscar Hernandez. He's the perfect fit for this team. And then you jump to the top of the sixth inning. We talked about that one. And jump to later in the bottom of the eighth inning. And Shohei Ohtani facing Banks, 1-0 count. And Shohei Ohtani, he goes Oppo Dong.
Fortunate to have gotten 3 runs against him. High fly ball, left center field. Marsh to the track, Marsh to the wall. It's gone! Shohei Ohtani, number 34. Go back and touch first.
Shohei Ohtani cranks his 34th home run. That put the Dodgers up 5-3. And it was a much-needed insurance run. The way this bullpen has been performing, you definitely wanted to add another run before that 9th inning. And Daniel Hudson, he issued a leadoff single. He was on to pitch the 9th. He issued a leadoff single to Castellanos. And then he was able to finish the job. He gets Stott to pop to the third. Hayes fly to short. Stubbs pop to short. Gives it the one hit, but the Dodgers get the win. They improved to 66-47. And, yeah, the big takeaway tonight, like I said, Glasnow, he was fantastic. The line doesn't truly reflect how dominant he was. I mean, anytime you punch out 9 of the first 15 batters you faced, you're nasty, especially against a lineup like the Phillies. The bullpen, they shoved once again. I think Will Smith, that's someone we're keeping our eyes on very closely. He went 0 for 4 again tonight. You wonder if he needs some rest. Do you want to see a little more Austin Barnes for Will Smith just so he can get some rest and get that swing back? Because we're going to talk about tomorrow on Dodgers Dugout Live, but kind of the way that his seasons have been trending, there's a lot of great early on, and then it kind of tails off towards the end. We really want that to go up, and we want him to really put together a wire-to-wire level season. And look, that's why there's not a lot of catchers who can produce offensively at the level of Will Smith. It is one of the most difficult positions to play in all of sports. He does it on elite level. He hits at a high level. He's improved as a catcher every single year, but he's hitting 249. He's been below average for a couple of months now. If you look at his numbers the last couple of months, I mean, he's hitting just over 200. So Will Smith is a much better hitter than what we've seen lately. And the good thing is, not all these guys are going to be hot. I like that the Bonda Express from Mr. Classic give you a fire take there. No disrespect to Kurdish, facts are facts. Bonda might take Vesia's job soon. That's really one of the big storylines heading down the stretch. Is just there's so much competition because there's so many players that can do similar-ish things. Today, the Dodgers, they DFA'd Cavan Biggio, and I thought that probably they would look to option James Outman possibly sooner, but Cavan Biggio had performed a lot better of late. You're going to get Tommy Edman back in the middle of August. I mean, we're just not that far away from getting Edman and Mookie back, and Max Muncy, he's on the right trajectory as well. So, yeah, that's definitely what you have across the board. You got to get Rojas back. How does he factor in? Is he a depth piece? Does he make the postseason roster? Does Kike Hernandez, who, I mean, you can't leave him off the postseason roster, right? Because he's a guy who's built for the postseason. So there's going to be a lot of difficult decisions down the stretch. Tune in tomorrow because we're going to take a deep dive on the roster crunch and try to predict the postseason 26-man roster on tomorrow's show. No Messi with Vesia, Mr. Seabad, Jose Aguirre, get a clue. I'll help you find it. Okay, you got people bantering down below. A $5 super chat, Johnny Dodger. When can we put Vesia back to the 6th inning role where he belongs? Yeah, I mean, that's a fantastic point, but I think the good thing is kind of, guys, what do we know now? The bullpen doesn't look bad when the pitcher goes 6 innings, when you get a quality start. So guess what? You don't need Alex Vesia in the 6th inning when Tyler Glasnow pitches in the 6th inning. And Glasnow and Flaherty and Stone and hopefully Kirsch and Yamamoto when he's back. I mean, all these guys, they take pride in going as deep as they possibly can. And look, it's contagious. And hopefully Glasnow definitely sets this trend. I mean, it's the 2nd straight quality start for Tyler Glasnow. The Dodgers, they're continuing to build on that. And you saw him from Flaherty the other night. You're getting them more regularly than what we've seen. They've got in now 3 quality starts in their last 6 games. So the more you get from your starting rotation, the less burden you put on your bullpen, the better they perform when they're out there. So it's definitely a positive, no doubt about it. And how about this? Another stolen base for Shohei Ohtani. I mean, to think that we could truly see a 50-50 season, a 40-50 season, I mean, in year 1 for Shohei Ohtani, it'd be absolutely incredible. I mean, he's going to run away with the MVP. His 32nd home run already has a new career high. His previous career high was 26 back in 2021. So the fact that he's out there making things happen, you see how impactful he is for this team. And that's why, look, I think we'll see if they keep him at leadoff. We'll see if he's at leadoff when you're going against right-handed pitching or left-handed pitching, or if they just have Mookie go to leadoff 100% of the time. But the thing about Shohei Ohtani is, what do you do with this guy when he's on? Because if he's not hitting home runs and he's not getting extra base hits, if you walk him, he's a threat to steal second. If he singles, he's a threat to steal second. And then if he's at second, he's a threat to steal third. I mean, you saw against the Oakland A's, I mean, the pressure he put on bringing the infield in on Sunday, that led to a run and his ability to go home there. So, yeah, I mean, he's such a 5-tool player, 6-tool, 7-tool, 8-tool. I mean, he's all the tools that you could possibly have. And we're seeing on a nightly, daily basis, and it's really a pleasure to watch. But here we go. No Mookie, won't be shortstop. He's a horrible shortstop from Elishiva Jones. Rosemary, agreed. Kiermaier makes the catch, but his bat is not good right now. Yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing. It's a trade-off. It absolutely is. I mean, some guys can balance it out. Some guys are great on defense. Some guys are great in the box. Kiermaier is the 272nd ranked hitter as far as weighted runs created plus out of 278 hitters with a minimum of 220 plate appearances this season. So it is a trade-off, and that's why it's very difficult. We got Alex in the chat. We got Don Kim, LA fan, Freddie Lux, Ahmed, Rojas in the infield. Yeah, what did you guys think about Freddie's moment there? I thought it was special, man. I mean, a lot of emotion out there for Freddie Freeman, and I think he really raised a lot of awareness, which I thought was cool too. When are you giving Andrew Friedman the Teo Fund, Kelly? Well, when we get him back on the show. I'm working on getting Andrew Friedman back on the show. We're going to have we got an interview with Jacob Wright, the Dodgers' 4th round pick. I'm dropping tomorrow. Also, Bobby Miller, big time Bobby. He's going to join us on the show later this week as well. But got a lot of stuff planned for you guys. 2 Max Muncies. Look up Teo. We got a $20 super chat from Ryan Montez. What up, Dougie? It seems like this is the series that was meant for us to get hot. Yeah, you look at this series. You look at tonight. Tonight they get 5 runs. 5 runs for the Dodgers. They scored 5 runs for the entire series back in Philadelphia. So it's obviously off to a much better start. And guess what? I like the Dodgers when they have more MVPs, right? I like the Dodgers when their MVPs are back. You got the MV2 right now. We need the MV3 in a couple of weeks. Really, it's closed in on Mookie time and pitchers that give you quality starts. Isn't it funny how that works? Quality starts, your MVPs are back, your bullpen pitches better, you win games. Now you got to put the finishing touches to this team and this roster when everyone gets healthy and we see who's going to be that team. We got Ricky Flores, always comments Tupac. We got Max Strong from Jeremy H. Yeah, give me a Max Strong for sure. Ricky Flores, what's up? D-Mac Kershaw is going to deal tomorrow. Tupac said it. Okay. Show bomb Ohtani going 50-50. Peek a peep. Only mistake Glasnow made is this outing tonight was not throwing home on the comebacker. Yeah, that definitely was probably, in retrospect, the right play at the time. But when you look at the way he can just zip it over to first, and it's possible he could have made. I mean, Stott really was kind of flying down the line, and yeah, I mean, Castellanos kind of going on contact there, but it's always tough. I mean, as a pitcher, you kind of always feel like it's going to be bang, bang at first, and you're going to get that out. But, yeah, that'd be a fun question to ask him after the game. Wonder if the reporters did. Yeah, Miguel Vargas. Someone said RIP Miguel Vargas, man. Sad emoji. Yeah, it's a tough day for the Miguel Vargas fan club. But, yeah, the Chicago White Sox, man. Can you believe the Chicago White Sox? I mean, it's just sad. It's sad, and I mean, 21 consecutive losses, man. 21 consecutive for the Chicago White Sox. It's insane how bad they are. And Miguel Vargas not having a ton of success with that team, but they actually tied the AL record, losing 21 straight ones. 21 straight ones, man. It's a really sad collapse, man. And you know, they're 0-56 this season when they are losing after the 6th inning. So it is really sad. And yeah, and our boy Miguel Vargas, man. Hey, maybe they're just gonna try to peak at the right time, which is pretty much never. So 21 straight losses for the White Sox, man. That is brutal in Chi-Town. But a couple more here, guys. The late night Dodgers Nation post-game show after dark here. Will Smith is still on a milk carton somewhere. Will Smith needs some rest for sure from Diane Schroeder. Heard from Joe Davis that Will Smith has been playing with a bum ankle since the Yankees series. So, yeah, Dodgers better rest him as much as possible until he's finally over at Peek a Peep. And absolutely, I mean, Austin Barnes, first and foremost, Austin Barnes, he's been respectable at the plate this season, and he's a viable backup. I mean, Austin Barnes is 91 OPS plus this season, hitting 270. He has not been bad at the plate all this year, and you definitely don't want to run Will Smith into the ground. Will Smith is a player that is really cut from the same cloth as a Freddie Freeman, and a guy that wants to Go out there, play every game, sign that 10-year, $140 million contract, wants to live up to it. But if you're dealing with anything with this team and you're an important piece to the championship puzzle, then absolutely you should take some time off. Absolutely, if you're not at 100%, you're playing such a demanding position that he plays in the catcher spot, you should, because he just has not looked like the Will Smith that we saw in the first part of the season for months now, if we're being quite honest, and that's what the numbers would indicate. So you get Mookie back soon, you get Muncy back hopefully soon-ish, and you feel good about this offense and how much firepower they have, and then you let Austin Barnes kind of take the reins. So wouldn't be surprised to see them kind of give him some time if he's dealing with anything at all. Kind of want to ask Dave Roberts tomorrow about Will Smith and if he's dealing with anything. So we'll try to get some more intel on that tomorrow. So I'll be at the game, and we'll do a post-game show from Dodger Stadium. David Sabatini starting to get healthy. D-Mac, look out, National League. Yeah, exactly. I mean, think about a rested Mookie Betts who kind of took a little mini summer break there, and I'm excited about it. And obviously you don't want what happened to happen, but still, I mean, I'm excited about what Mookie's going to do in the postseason, knowing that he didn't have to play the entire summer and carry this team like he has in the past. I mean, he wouldn't have had to anyway with Shohei Ohtani and Teoscar, but still, I think that Mookie is absolutely, I like that. Go Vic the Brick. We ride with D-Mac. Late night carne asada. Absolutely. I mean, shout out to the Bleelos pod. Those guys are my friends, and they rock the carne asada. We got Cowboys 5 rings. What's up? We got Jeff Vandersteen, Roy Estrada. Move Will Smith to the 6th spot. Smith is the new Lux. Your guys aren't going to be hot at the same time. They're going to have the ebbs and flows of a long, rigorous 162 baseball season, 162 game baseball season. So, yeah, I mean, you want these guys to peak at the right time, but right now, like I said, we talked about it, the fact that Will Smith absolutely could benefit from a little bit of a respite at this point. You can't intentionally walk Ohtani like Judge since he steals and makes a double. That's a fire take. It's kind of what we were kind of getting into earlier, is it the fact that, yeah, I mean, he's absolutely dangerous on the base pack. That's why he is the most dangerous player. Can Rosario play center field? Kelly Oshiro, absolutely he could, but they prefer to keep him in one of the corner outfield spots, and we'll see if they platoon him with Gavin Lux, because what Dave Roberts said on Friday in Oakland was that they traded for Ahmed Rosario pretty much strictly to go against left-handed pitching. And that's what he does best, and they're trying to utilize him in that spot. So it remains to be seen if they're going to take advantage of his offense, which I really think they should be doing right now, but until they get completely 100% healthy. But clearly they have a plan. They're sticking to it. I saw Kiermaier almost throw up watching Pages' horrible defense from J-Kid 2023. We got Mary Hart can play center better than Pages. That's from Allen. That's a bruh. I like it. Technically, we got MV4 with Kershaw. There we go. Legal Mind 3474. We got Richard Flores. Oh, I must have missed that, Richard Flores, but let me get back and look for that super chat. Appreciate you going to the Teo Fund. My man, Richard Flores. Max Strong for Mitchell Hopkins. Kershaw's cooked, to be honest. David Muncia. Ask Bob Miller why he throws slower sinker rather than 100 miles per hour to strike guys out. Will do. Jeremy H. RIP to the Red Sox for picking up Johan Ramirez. Kirsch League has 17 years of tape on from Ray Soto. Hey man, let's be patient. Let's reserve judgment. Let's see how it looks tomorrow. Don't want to hear the Kirsch's cook talk. It's still early. Too premature. Tyler, Mr. White tonight, serving up straight glass now. There we go. I like that. It's fire take. Fire take. Vargas had a huge runaway last year and some this year, and he didn't make the most of it. That's from Monster. He didn't, for sure. We need Yamamoto back. Yeah, hopefully late August, early September. Things are trending in the right direction. It would kill me to play catcher. That's from Diane Schroeder. Yeah, and it's a tough position. The good thing is this team has a lot of talent where you can supplement it from other areas when guys are struggling. But, yeah, absolutely, Will Smith definitely is at a point where you need to see him break out. You definitely do. And you look at just how he's performed this season, and last year he was hitting .316, off-speed pitches. This year in 216. So down 100 points, not having the same success against off-speed pitches. But really, you look at the fastball in 249, the expected slug is 492, and he's slugging 423. So just let's calm down on Smitty, and it's definitely going to take a couple of days to really just completely say, okay, let's give him a stint, or let's sit him for Austin Barnes, because we've seen him just get hot all of a sudden. But yeah, I mean, it's tough to say you're wrong. It's tough to say you're wrong when the numbers truly do indicate that for a couple of months now, he hasn't been the guy that has been that all-star catcher at the plate. I mean, he's been kind of around league average. I mean, hit 212 with a 773 OPS in May, 203 with a 642 OPS in June, and then in July, a 208 batting average, hitting with a 724 OPS. So those aren't those all-star best hitting catch on the planet type numbers that we've come to expect from Will Smith. So he's going to be fine. I'm not worried about Smitty. He's going to click, but I think that it could be. I mean, last season he was dealing with a rib injury, played through. He's a gamer. He's a guy that none of these guys are 100% this time of year. They truly aren't. But Will Smith is someone that will play through injury, will play when he's not at 100%. I would not be surprised if that's what's going on at the moment. But, yep, guys, we got Isaac Too Nice. D-Mac, much love from the 818. Let's go Dodgers Nation. We got Kenny Chung, Schwarber, and Castellanos will go yard on Kershaw tomorrow. How dare you? How dare you, Kenny Chung? Going out there and manifesting that LeVar Ball style, saying that other players on the other team are going to go yard on Kirsch. You must not be a proud Christian. You must not believe in the Church of Christianity. Okay? Clayton Kershaw, let's support this legend. Let's support this GOAT, okay? Sorry, Kiermaier ain't the man for anything with a 190 batting average. Yeah, I'm team Tommy Edman in center field, not Kevin Kiermaier. Kevin Kiermaier's defense is excellent, but hey, you can't be a designated defender, right? You got to be able to swing the bat some. And this year he's been one of the least productive hitters in all of Major League Baseball. But Ohtani is going to go for 50-50 this season. We got Pika Peep. You can play through injury as long as it doesn't affect your production. He had 3 home runs in a game. Yeah, exactly, man. That's the thing about Smith. When he explodes, he explodes. Orlando says I wear Skechers because Kershaw wears Skechers. There we go. But yep, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the Dodgers Nation post-game show. We're going to try to do post-game shows for every single game where I'm at the studio or I'm at Dodger Stadium for the rest of the year. So be on the lookout. Might be a little shorter because we're trying to keep them nice and tight, because we got the morning show, the afternoon show, Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers show on YouTube. We got big guests coming up, lots of exciting giveaways. So definitely tune in tomorrow on your lunch break, at your work, whatever it is. Hey, who needs productivity, man? You just open another window, okay? Do whatever you got to do. I had someone say that he was standing on the toilet in a bathroom stall to watch the show. Whatever you have to do to listen about your boys in blue. So we'll see you guys tomorrow for Dodgers Dugout Live. But the Dodgers, they get the win. They beat the Philadelphia Phillies in Game 1 of a 3-game set. The top 2 teams in the National League. This time tomorrow, your Dodgers could have the best record in the senior circuit. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. Do some walk-off shots. Any hot takes? Sue, we got DMAC. Can you ask Friedman if they can pay Rosario more? DFA Pajes. We got Ohtani, Sammy Boy Smith. Kershaw will eat innings and put fans in the seats still at least. What's up, Pika Pete? We got DMAC for the win. Mayo. Good night, Dodgers Nation. Let's get them tomorrow. Go Tony. Dodgers have literally taken years off my life, and I'm okay with that. Dodgers fan for life from Cowabunga. But that is going to do it, guys. My name is Doug McKain. See you guys tomorrow. Remember, nothing brings together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue,